Let me ask you something, and don't answer fast. Who are you waiting for? Who are you secretly hoping will show up one day and fix everything? Who do you think is going to understand you, support you, motivate you, believe in you, when you don't even fully believe in yourself? Because here's the truth most people avoid their entire lives. Nobody is coming. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to understand your pain better than you do. No one is coming to give you the discipline you refuse to build. No one is coming to save you from the life you keep tolerating. And the reason this hurts so much is because deep down, you've been waiting for the right moment, waiting to feel ready, waiting for confidence, waiting for motivation, waiting for life to get easier. But life doesn't work that way. The help you're waiting for, that moment you're hoping will change everything, it doesn't arrive from the outside. It never has. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they live in expectation mode. They expect encouragement before action. They expect clarity before commitment. They expect confidence before courage. And because of that, they stay stuck. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. The world does not reward potential. It rewards responsibility. No one cares how hard your life has been. No one cares how much trauma you carry. No one cares how unfair it feels. Not because people are cruel, but because everyone is fighting their own war. And the moment you truly understand that, something powerful happens. You stop waiting. You stop hoping. You stop blaming. You realize that if your life is going to change, it will only be because you decide to change it. This is where most people break. Because accepting that nobody is coming means accepting full responsibility. And responsibility is heavy. It means you can no longer hide behind excuses. You can no longer say, if only someone helped me. You can no longer wait for permission. You become accountable for your habits, your thoughts, your discipline, your future. And that terrifies people. So they distract themselves. They numb themselves. They stay busy but never productive. They stay comfortable but never fulfilled. They would rather stay miserable than be responsible. But if you're listening to this, something inside you already knows the truth. You're tired of waiting, tired of feeling stuck, tired of feeling like your life is on pause. And that feeling, that frustration, that quiet anger, that's not weakness. That's the beginning of power. Because the moment you accept that nobody is coming, you stop being a victim of your circumstances, and you become the author of your future. And this is only the beginning. Here's the part nobody tells you. Accepting that nobody is coming to save you doesn't make life easier. It makes it real. And reality is heavy. Because once you accept that no one is coming, you lose your favorite excuse. You lose the comfort of blaming your past. You lose the illusion that someone else is responsible for how your life turns out. And most people can't handle that. They say they want freedom, but what they really want is relief. They don't want responsibility. They want reassurance. They don't want growth. They want comfort. That's why they stay stuck. Because responsibility forces you to look in the mirror and admit something painful. Somewhere along the way, you stopped choosing yourself. You knew what needed to be done. You felt it. You sensed it. But you avoided it. You chose distraction over discipline. Comfort over commitment. Short-term relief over long-term respect. And every time you did that, a small part of you lost trust in yourself. That's why motivation doesn't last. That's why confidence feels fake. That's why you feel tired even when you rest. It's not because life is hard. It's because deep down, you know you're not keeping promises to yourself. And here's the brutal truth. No one can save someone who keeps betraying themselves. Not a coach, not a partner, not a mentor, not motivation videos, not inspiration. Because change doesn't happen when someone believes in you. It happens when you start behaving like someone worth believing in. That's the shift. And this is where people misunderstand strength. They think strength is loud, aggressive, dominant. But real strength is quiet. It's getting up when no one is watching. It's doing the work when there's no applause. It's choosing discipline when motivation is gone. It's saying no to things that feel good now, so you can respect yourself later. And that kind of strength is built in isolation. That's why this journey feels lonely. Because once you stop waiting to be saved, you realize most people are still waiting. Waiting for approval. Waiting for validation. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for someone to notice them. And when you stop waiting, you become different. You move differently. You think differently. You tolerate less. You expect more, especially from yourself. And people don't like that. They will say you changed. They will say you became cold. They will say you're obsessed. But what they really mean is you stop playing the role they were comfortable with. Because when you take responsibility for your life, you become a mirror. And mirrors make people uncomfortable. They remind others of what they're avoiding, of the discipline they don't have, of the courage they won't build. So don't expect applause. Don't expect support. Don't expect understanding. Expect resistance. That's the price of self-respect. And this is where the real test begins. Because now that you know nobody is coming, you have a choice. You can go back to waiting, or you can become the person you were waiting for. You can keep hoping life changes, or you can force yourself to change first. You can stay comfortable, or you can become dangerous. Dangerous not to others, but to the old version of you that keeps holding you back. The version that procrastinates. The version that overthinks. The version that escapes. The version that knows better but does nothing. That version has to go. Because the life you want cannot coexist with the habits you keep protecting. And in the next part, we're going to talk about exactly what happens after you stop waiting. How this realization turns pain into fuel. And why the moment you stop expecting rescue is the moment you start taking control. At some point, the truth finally sinks in. Nobody is coming. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Not when things calm down. Not when you feel ready. And when that realization hits fully, something strange happens. You feel fear, but also relief. Because waiting is exhausting. Waiting drains your energy. Waiting keeps you weak. Waiting keeps you dependent. And once you stop waiting, your power starts coming back. Slowly, quietly, without drama. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what am I going to do about it? That's the moment your life actually begins. Not when circumstances change, but when your standards do. Because the people who win at life aren't the luckiest. They're not the most gifted. They're not the most confident. They're the ones who decided that no matter what happens, they will respond with action instead of excuses. They understood something most people never do. Pain is inevitable. Stagnation is optional. And once you understand that, you stop running from discomfort. You stop numbing yourself. You stop escaping into distractions. You stop pretending that tomorrow will magically fix what you refuse to face today. You begin to use pain correctly. Pain becomes a signal, a teacher, a trigger, not something to avoid, but something to convert. Every time life hits you, you ask, what is this forcing me to become? Because growth doesn't happen when life is kind. It happens when life is ruthless, and you refuse to fold. This is where discipline is born, not from motivation, not from inspiration, but from identity. You stop trying to feel like doing the work. You do the work because that's who you are now. You become someone who keeps promises to yourself, someone who shows up tired, someone who acts even when fear is loud. And slowly, something changes inside you. You trust yourself again, and that trust is everything. Because confidence isn't loud talk. It's evidence. It's built when you do the hard thing repeatedly, especially when no one is watching. That's why saving yourself is lonely. No one claps for self-discipline. No one celebrates your internal battles. No one sees the nights you fight your own mind. But that's okay, because the reward isn't approval. The reward is self-respect. And self-respect changes how you walk, how you speak, how you tolerate nonsense, how you choose people, how you choose yourself. You stop needing validation because you validate your own effort. You stop chasing motivation because momentum carries you. You stop fearing failure because you know you won't quit on yourself anymore. And that's when life starts responding differently. Not because the world became fair, but because you became solid. You stopped leaking energy. You stopped negotiating with weakness. You stopped hoping someone would save you. And you became dangerous to your old limitations. So let this be clear. No one is coming to save you. And that is not a curse. It's the greatest opportunity you'll ever get. Because the moment you stop waiting for rescue is the moment you step into responsibility. And responsibility is where power lives. So stop waiting. Stop hoping. Stop negotiating. Get up. Take control. And build the life that only you can build. Because in the end, the person you were waiting for was always you.